Hello everyone, welcome back to Crypto News. Today we're going to be talking about Randall Keith Bean and Heather Tucci, and their case has now been combined to one case against the United States of America. Now, let me give you a little synapse of events that kind of happened because on July 7th is when Randall was arrested, and then on July 24th is when Heather was arrested, okay? So this here is the actual indictment that was filed by a grand jury, and this was filed on July 18th, okay? So let's go ahead and let's continue on and read this indictment as it follows. So count 1 through count 5. There's a total of 7 counts just for you guys' information. At all times relevant to this indictment, United States Automobile Association (USAA) is a financial institution insured by the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation (FDIC). With home office in San Antonio, Texas, USAA offers products in the insurance, banking, investing, real estate, and retirement arenas. Federal Reserve Bank in New York is a financial institution located in New York, New York. Whitney Bank is a FDIC-insured financial institution with home office in Louisiana. The defendant, Randall Keith Bean, was a member and account holder at United States Automobile Association, USAA. So it's really important to note that he was a member, so he apparently no longer has an account with USAA and is no longer a member also. Uh, Continuing on to number 5, uh, paragraph number 5. The defendant, Randall Keith Bean, did not have an account ending in 1135 at the Federal Reserve Bank. All wire transfers discussed herein went through the Automated Clearinghouse and Fedwire. Heather Ann Tucci is not a duly licensed attorney in the United States of Tennessee and Washington authorized to represent in other legal matters. So, and this one continues with the scheme. So, in paragraph 8, in or around July 2017, Randall Keith Bean and others, known and unknown to the grand jury, embarked upon a scheme through which they sought to obtain and access funds that did not belong to them by exploiting the online banking options available through USAA. The scheme involved the use of a valid routing number ending in 1452 belonging to Federal Reserve Bank and a fictitious bank account number ending in 1135. It was a part of the scheme to make numerous attempts using the valid routing number and fictitious bank account number to purchase jumbo certificates of deposits, also known as CDs, until a transfer was completed. It was further part of the scheme to immediately liquidate the CDs and then transfer proceeds from the CDs to Bean's personal account to purchase and pay personal expenses with funds that did not belong to him, including the purchase of a 2017 Edgarda Cornerstone 45B 45-foot diesel motorhome. It was further part of the scheme that Heather Ann Tucci was purported to be Bean's attorney in order to induce, coerce, and convince certain financial institutions to accept the fraudulently obtained funds for payment of a 2017 diesel motorhome, 45-footer. In furtherance of the scheme and to accomplish the ends thereof, the defendant Randall Keith Bean and others known and unknown to the grand jury used the following means among others. A. Defendant Randall Keith Bean was a member and account holder of the United States Automobile Association, USAA, The defendant, Randall Keith Bean, did not hold an account ending in 1135 at the Federal Reserve Bank. The defendant, Randall Keith Bean, obtained from others, known and unknown to the grand jury, the valid routing number of Federal Reserve Bank, that is, routing number ending in 1452. D. The defendant, Randall Keith Bean, used his used his mobile device to access his USAA account. E. Defendant Randall Keith Bean would and did conduct electric financial transactions, including the purchase and attempted purchase of jumbo CDs through USAA, in which the defendant Randall Keith Bean falsely represented the funding source using fictitious account number, that is, account number ending in 1135. F. The vast majority of CDs the defendant Randall Keith Bean attempted to purchase through the scheme were returned as invalid because there was no valid account number entered. However, 2 CDs were funded by USAA Bank and liquidated by the defendant, Randall Keith Bean, before USAA Bank could reverse the transaction. G. The defendant, Randall Keith Bean, would and did use funds fraudulently acquired through the CD purchase scheme to make purchases for his own personal benefit, to include the purchase of a 2017 motorhome, or Integra Cornerstone 45B. And now this is the execution of what they call as the scheme. The allegations set forth in paragraphs 1 through 13 are incorporated herein for reference for the purpose of allegating violations of 18 U.S.C. 1343. And then in paragraph 15, on or about the date set forth below, within the Eastern District of Tennessee and elsewhere, the defendant, Randall Keith Bean, for the purposes of executing and attempting to execute the above described scheme and affiliate to defraud, purchased jumbo CDs with funds that did not belong to him by using routing numbers that did not belong to his accounts and fictitious bank accounts, and in doing so did knowingly transmit and cause to be transmitted by means of wire communication in interstate commerce, signals, and sounds, including without limitation the following. And now we get into the counts and what exactly he's being charged for in the descriptions of these transmissions. So count number 1 took place on date of July 6th, 2017. Mr. Bean transferred funds he did not own via wire using Federal Reserve New York routing number 1452 and fictitious account number ending in 1135 to purchase CD number 4613 in the amount of $500,000. Now, count number 2, CD number 4613 in the amount of $500,000 was closed, and funds in the amount of $499,009.59 were transferred via wire to one of Bean's personal bank accounts at USAA, account number ending in 3062. Count number 3, Bean transferred funds he did not own via wire using Federal Reserve New York routing number 1452 and fictitious account number 1135 to purchase CD number 4623 in the amount of $999,000. Count number 4, CD number 4623 in the amount of $999,000 was closed, and the funds in the amount of $998,819.36 were transferred via wire to one of Bean's personal bank accounts at USAA, account number 3062. Bean transferred the sum of $493,110.68 via wire from Bean's personal account number 4026 to Whitney's bank account number ending in 4960 belonging to BG, whose identity is known to the grand jury, for the purchase of a 2017 Ertiga Cornerstone 45B 45-foot diesel motorhome. And then it continues here with count 6, and this is for bank fraud. Paragraph 16, all allegations contained above in paragraphs 1 through 15 are incorporated herein by reference for the purpose of alleging violation of Title 18, United States Code Section 1344. Formally, on or about July 5th, 2017, continuing through at least on or about July 11th, 2017, the Eastern District of Tennessee, for the purpose of executing the scheme described as above, the defendant Randall Keith Bean devised a scheme to defraud financial institutions and obtain monies, funds, credits, assets, securities, and other property owned by and under the custody and control of financial institutions by means of false and fraudulent pretenses, representations, and promises, executed and attempted to wit, to purchase certificates of deposit with money that did not belong to him, without permission or authority, alter the financial instruments, then liquidate the CDs, and through financial institutions in order to obtain money and property fraudulently and for defendant's own use and benefit, all in violation of Title 18, United States Code, Section 1344. And then count number 7, conspiracy to commit money laundering. Continuing in paragraph 18, the allegations contained above in paragraph 1 through 17 are incorporated herein by reference for purpose of alleging conspiracy to commit money laundering in violation of Title 18, United States Code, Section 1956H. The grand jury further charges that in on or about July 2017 in the Eastern District of Tennessee and elsewhere, the defendants Randall Keith Bean and Heather Ann TUCCI did unlawfully and knowingly combine, conspire, confide, and agree with each other and with other persons known and unknown to the grand jury to commit certain offenses against the United States in violation of Title 18, United States Code Sections 1956 and 1957 as follows. A. Knowingly conducting and attempting to conduct financial transactions affecting interstate commerce, which transactions involve the proceeds of specified unlawful activity, that is, wire fraud, bank fraud, in violation of Title 18, United States Code Sections 1343 and 1344, with the intent to promote the carrying out and carrying on of specified unlawful activity, that is, bank and wire fraud, and that while conducting such financial transactions knew the property involved in the financial transactions represented the proceeds from some of unlawful activity in violation of Title 18, United States Code, Section 1956, A, number 1, B, I. Knowingly conducting and attempting to conduct financial transactions affecting interstate commerce, which involved the proceeds of specified unlawful activity and is 1. Wire fraud in violation of 18 U.S.C. 1343 and 2. Bank fraud in violation of 18 U.S.C. 1344. Knowing that the transactions were designed in whole and in part to conceal and disguise the nature, location, source, ownership, and control of the proceeds of specified unlawful activity, and that while attempting to conduct such financial transactions knew that the property involved in the financial transactions represented the proceeds of some form of unlawful activity in violation of 18 USC 1956A1BI. C. Knowingly engaging and attempting to engage in monetary transactions by, through, or to a financial institution affecting interstate commerce and criminally divert property of value greater than 10,000, such property having been diverted from a specified unlawful activity, that is 1. Wire fraud in violation of 18.1343, and 2. Bank fraud violation in violation of 18 USC 1344, in violation of Title 18 United States Code Section 1957, all in violation of Title 18 United States Code Section 1956H. And now, forfeiture allegations. The allegations contained in counts 1 through 7 of this indictment are hereby realleged and incorporated herein by reference for the purpose of alleging forfeitures pursuant to 18 USC 982A1, 982A2, and 28 USC 2461. Pursuant to 18 USC 982A2, upon conviction of any offense in violation of 18 USC 1344, 1343, and any defendant so convicted shall forfeit to the United States any property, real property, consisting or tangible, or the proceeds of any violation of 18 USC 1344, 1343, including but not limited to the property 2017 Integra Cornerstone 45B, 45-foot diesel, motorhome VIN number, topaz in color with 8 wheels, motorhome, and a personal money judgment in favor of the United States against the defendant Randall Keith Bean in the amount of $553,749.99, which represents the proceeds the defendant personally obtained directly or indirectly as a result of criminal violations of 18 USC 1343 and 1344. Pursuant to 18 USC 982A1, upon conviction and offense of violation 18 USC 1956H, any defendant so convicted shall forfeit to the United States of America any property, real or personal, involved in such offense, and any property traceable to such property, including but not limited to the following property. 2017 Integra. Okay, so just reference the motorhome again. And paragraph 23, pursuant to Title 21 United States Code Section 853P, the defendant shall forfeit substitute property to the value of the property subject to forfeiture, if by any act or omission of any of the defendant's said property or any form thereof, A, cannot be located upon the existence or upon the exercise of due diligence, B, has been transferred, sold, or deposited with a third party, C, has been placed beyond the jurisdiction of the court, D, has been substantially diminished in value, or E, has been commingled with other property that cannot be divided without difficulty. The United States of America shall be entitled to forfeiture of substitute property pursuant to 21 USC 853P as incorporated by 18 USC 982B1 and 28 USC 2461. And now this is a true bill by the foreperson. Signature has been redacted. Important to note that. And then here's the other signature by Nancy Stallard Har, United States Attorney. Okay, so this is pretty much all that we know on Heather Ann Tucci and Randall Keith Bean regarding the indictment, and there's 7 counts. One of them obviously is just going to be conspiracy to commit a crime that's, or I'm sorry, to commit money laundering. Now, some of these may be hard for them to prove. Maybe some of them are easier. From what I can gather, there's 2 important facts in this document. Now, it says right here, matter and means. Now, it does say that there was a valid routing number at the Federal Reserve Bank. Okay, so he has the valid routing number, but he did not hold an account ending in 1135. And it also says that he was using a fictitious account number, and that account number ending in 1135. So what I would recommend for all of you guys, if you are watching this, is I would recommend that using your Secret Trust TDA account would probably be the best to put on hold for right now, and not to continue with it, just because if you don't actually have a Secret Trust TDA account at the Federal Reserve, or it's somewhere else in the Federal Reserve, being that this one here is stating that um, using a fictitious account number. So it's very important that you guys play very safely, and like I always said in my other videos, to verify your accounts, verify that the information is real. Just don't go under the assumption that it has to be true, because you never know what may be on the other side of that door, and if you open it up, you may just be surprised. So it's important to verify it. And some of these charges, now this is again, I don't recommend doing CDs or doing any of this, to be honest. I recommend you guys all wait and see how this goes and pans out. But if you look here, it says that Randall Keith Bean still has the account with 500,000 in it, and he still has 100% ownership of the RV. And upon being convicted of this crime, then he's going to have to forfeit his ownership of the RV, which they label out here as being topaz in color with 8 wheels. But it's important to note that he still also has the money of 553,000 that's still legally, lawfully, rightfully Randall Keith Bean's. As far as the law is concerned, until this matter is handled. Once this matter has been handled, then he may have to forfeit the right to the money and to the RV, because it was found that he obtained this by money laundering or by bank fraud, wire fraud, by whatever means he was able to obtain it as far as the execution of this scheme. Now, it's important to note that Randall himself is probably not the guy that, everybody should be blaming here. And I honestly don't think Randall should be the one taking the most heat for this, because Randall saw some information, and if you guys look back at some of the other videos I have posted, he has said that he saw a video from Harvey Dent, and then he had approached Heather Tucci. Now, whether or not one or the other has the end-all be-all method that's right or wrong that will keep you out of jail or in jail, I don't know. What I do know is that Randall Keith Bean is an unfortunate individual that is going through a situation like this, believing the information that was told to him. So it's very important for you guys to verify and do your own due diligence on the topics that you are curious about before making any major life decisions. I just wanted to throw that out there. I hope you guys all have a wonderful night, and enjoy the rest of the day and this week, and take care, you guys. Bye-bye.